Hi, this is Carl the Prado with A to Z Business IT. So today I wanted to talk about a few things that just came across my feed, which are really disturbing. Unfortunately, we had two very significant cyber security events that have happened. The first one, which was by itself pretty dramatic, is a U.S. college is shutting down because of in the wake of a ransomware attack. The college is it's in Illinois, and it is called Lincoln University. Let me make sure I got that name correct. And it was affected. There were other factors involved. Unfortunately, the pandemic did hit them pretty hard. As a matter of fact, before that, in 2019, they had a record-breaking enrollment. But the pandemic left them vulnerable. But last December, Lincoln was hit by a cyber attack, which hit their, which really affected their admissions activities, and basically shut down access to all of the institution's data. And it really created an unclear picture of the fall enrollment. And it basically crippled them. They couldn't recruit. Retention fundraising efforts were inoperable. And so even though the pandemic had hurt them, on top of it, it was a crippling blow, and it doesn't look like they'll recover. This institution has been around for 157 years. Just let that sink in. 157 years. And so, doesn't mean, and so this wasn't a small organization. And it was taken down, unfortunately, and affected by ransomware. On top of that, another reason why we may be seeing some more inflation is a ransomware just hit a farm machinery giant called Agco, A-G-C-O. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. They're out of France. It's a John Deere rival. And it's, and right now, while we're dealing with certainly supply chain issues, the ransomware has totally crippled them. So they haven't put anything out yet as far as exactly how this breach happened. The FBI did chime in today on this and comment. This was from the Register, and it was just to mention that last year alone, the U.S. paid $6.9 billion in ransomwares. There was something else I wanted to talk about really briefly here, as long as we're chatting about like where this stuff is coming from. So I think I mentioned before about an organization out of Russia called the Conti Group, which has HR departments and also does, recruiting and so forth. So they're one of the suspects. Another organization that's called BitLock, really what they do is they use what they call RAAS, ransomware as a service. You'll see this, RAAS is kind of a riff off of SaaS, software as a service. And so it's what they do is they recruit people. They have an active recruiting process where they're able to get a large network of people who will implement ransom and malware attacks, and will then split commissions with them. And let's see if I could show you. And it's really fascinating. I think I'll talk a little bit more about how this particular company works, but it's really just shows you how entrenched they are. And then the last one that I'll talk about, the three big ones, so that is a company called ReEvil. And ReEvil has done the Sudaminsky ransomware, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it has been one of the most aggressive ransomware attacks and is responsible for over 40% of all ransomware infections globally. So what does this tell us? Unfortunately, they're winning right now. The bad guys are winning. They just took down one of our institutions, and it affects people's lives. Their kids that were going to school there. People have lost their jobs. The community has lost a staple, having this college that is going to go away because of this. It's incredible. It gets devastated here. And so if you're not sure, and again, why do I do this? Because I'm out here to help. And if you're not sure whether your business is protected, you don't feel a little comfortable after listening to this, I'm here. So feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for your time, and you have a great day. All right, take care.